Meilah Daf Yutes. When it comes to the Meilah, the pasuk says Nefesh Kisimol Mal. Any soul that performs Meilah Chayiv, that would include anyone, including a Kohen Gadol, Nasi, and a Melech. So what's the Havamina that a Kohen Gadol and a king would not be Chayiv? Says the Gemara, because it says in the parsha of Shemen HaMishcha, the oil of anointment, it says Asher Yitin Mimeno Alzar. The Kohen Gadol is not considered a stranger when it comes to anointment, and therefore perhaps when it comes to Meilah, he's not considered a stranger. Komashmalan, everyone is Chayiv when it comes to Meilah. As we had yesterday, there's 3 sources for Meilah and 3 different halachas that are learned from different places. The first one is Saita, second one is Avodah Zarah, and the third one is Truma. Says the Gemara, from Saita, we learned the concept that just like a Saita, she never left her husband's domain, yet she ventured outside of his domain. And she benefited, she had Hana. So too Hegdish. Even though it remains in Hegdish's domain, if the person benefited from it, he had Hana, he's over, even though he didn't depreciate and deteriorate the Hegdish, just like this Saita woman was already a Ba'ula, she's not a Psula, so nothing happened to her physically, there's no depreciation and deterioration in the Saita. From Avodah Zarah, we learned the exact opposite. Avodah Zarah, a man went from HaKadosh Baruch Hu to the Avodah Zarah, so he changed domains, yet he had 0 Hana. So you see the concept, even if you change domains without benefiting, you're chayiv, and that's talking about in a case of a kli that doesn't depreciate and deteriorate with usage, such as jewelry, a golden cup, a necklace, etc. From Truma, we learned the concept that Truma is eaten. So Hegdish also has to be eaten if it's a type of Hegdish that's food. And if you take a kli, you take a garment that's meant to be worn and to depreciate it, and instead you just tear it up or burn it, you are potter because you didn't have Hana. The Gemara asks, how can you say that gold doesn't depreciate? We see that there's a very wealthy person called Nun, and when he gave his daughter-in-law's gold for the wedding, he weighed it beforehand, and then later on he weighed it again, and he saw that it depreciated, went down in weight. Says the Gemara, because his daughter-in-laws weren't careful, they didn't take care of the gold, and it nicked it and it depreciated. The other answer is that gold over time does depreciate, but you don't see the depreciation right away, and therefore it's considered a vessel that doesn't depreciate. Chatos, as is, without a blemish, is similar to a golden vessel, because you can't sell it. So therefore, even if you depreciate it, you plow your field with it, you shear its wool, nothing happened to it because you can take it as is and put it on the Mizbeach. However, a chatos that is ready to be redeemed because it has a blemish, then it's like anything else, that if you depreciate it by a pruta, you're over, and you must depreciate it by a pruta. It's not enough just to benefit from it. Says the Mishnah, in order to be over on Meilah, you have to benefit from that one object, a pruta's worth, and also depreciate it, a pruta's worth, if it's a type of object that's depreciated. In an item that's Kaddish Kedushas Haguf, such as a karba, has Kedushas Haguf, there's no way to remove that Kedushas Haguf. Therefore, if somebody were to benefit from that animal, since it remains Kaddish Kedushas Haguf, his friend could benefit from it, and you can constantly benefit from it. There's a Meilah after Meilah, whereas if it's a type of item that if you benefit from it, it leaves Hegdish's Rishus and goes into your domain, then there's only a one-time Meilah, and there's no Meilah after Meilah. So the Gemara says that according to Reb Nechemia, there's another item, a Kli Sharis. And that is because Reb Nechemia learns the Kal V'chomer that if a Kli Sharis can create Kedusha for food, you take flour, for instance, you put it into the Kli Sharis, the flour becomes Kaddish Kedusha Saguf, and the Kedusha never leaves that flour. So certainly what created that Kedusha, the Kli itself, the Kedusha should never leave. However, Chachamim, Tanakama learned from the Pasuk, it says, in the Pasuk, it says, Asham Ayel, and that Pasuk is completely extra because the Pasuk before it already says that the person brings Asham. So why does the Torah say afterwards that the Kohen brings his Asham? The answer is because the Pasuk is telling us that the person was Moil in that Asham. And yet, after he was Moil and he did Meilah, it remains a Asham. It never left. And what's the Chiddush? Every time there's Kedushas Haguf, it never leaves the domain. The answer is because the Torah is telling us only in a Behema, only in a Asham, does the concept of Meilah after Meilah exist, and nowhere else, not even in a Kli Sharis. Will come out according to that that a klisharis does have a redemption, and it goes out to chulin if one is mile in it, and that's a tremendous chiddush. Rebbe adds also a huge chiddush that if a person donates wood as a gift to the Beis Hamikdash, it becomes like a carbon mincha, and therefore all the halachas of mincha apply to it. First, you have to put it into a klishar so it should become kadesh. You have to add salt to it. There's a mandama that says you even have to do kmitza to it. You have to chop it up into small pieces and take a handful, and the rest goes to the mizbeach or goes to the kayin. You have to do tnufa or hagasha, bring it to the southwest corner of the mizbeach. And not only that, the wood itself, even though you're burning it, must have wood underneath it, because the wood that you're burning on top is like a carbon, and just like a carbon needs wood underneath, this wood also needs wood underneath. Rav Papa says that according to Rebbe, we're talking about a case where the chatos had a mum, and he went ahead even though he wasn't supposed to, and he shefted this chatos. And according to Rebbe, since you need a ha'amada ba'aracha, you have to stand it up on its feet and evaluate it, and you can't because it's dead. Therefore, you can never redeem it, and if you can't redeem it, there's Meilah after Meilah, but Chachamim are mechulik, and they say you could redeem it. Therefore, have a wonderful day.